It's completely different to what I thought it was going to look like.
We're sorting it.
You look amazing.
You, Daniel, and Samantha, know that by your simultaneous consent, which is given publicly and formally in my presence and in the presence of the persons now here, accept each other as your lawful husband and wife. And with the confirmation of this fact by your signature, you contract a lawful marriage for all the purposes of civil law. You should further know that your marriage cannot be dissolved during your lifetime except by a valid judgment of a court. If either of you, before the death of the other, contracts a marriage while this one remains undissolved, you will thereby be guilty of bigamy and be liable to the consequences provided by the law.
I'm not planning on doing this again.
So you got that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There's no way I'm doing this again, trust me.
I'm starting to sweat even more than I was before. I've got air in my mouth, hang on.
Mouse now. So
Yeah.
still holding hands, looking each other.
Yeah.
Daniel, you're going to repeat after me.
Yeah.
I call upon all persons here present
I call upon all persons here present
to witness that I, Daniel,
to witness that I, Daniel,
accept you, Samantha,
accept you, Samantha,
as my lawful wife,
as my lawful wife,
to love and to share with you,
to love and to share with you,
as from this day,
as from this day,
moments of joy and sorrow,
moments of joy and sorrow,
wealth and poverty,
wealth and poverty,
happiness and unhappiness,
happiness and unhappiness,
throughout our life,
throughout our lives,
until death do separate us.
until deaths do separate us.
It's a long time.
Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you.
Samantha? I call upon all persons here present
I call upon all persons here present
to witness that I, Samantha,
to witness that I, Samantha,
accept you, Daniel,
accept you, Daniel,
as my lawful husband,
as my lawful husband,
to love and to share with you,
to love and to share with you,
as from this day,
from this day,
moments of joy and sorrow,
moments of joy and sorrow,
wealth and poverty,
wealth and poverty,
happiness and unhappiness,
happiness and unhappiness,
throughout our lives,
throughout our lives,
until death to separate us.
until death does separate us.
Thank you, Samantha. You are joined together by your free consent in matrimony, and you own each other love, fidelity, and respect throughout your life. This marriage constitutes the fulfillment of your life and links your destinies on good and rainy days, in happiness and unhappiness, in wealth and poverty, until death do separate you. On the basis of equality, you should face together all the problems and all the difficulties of life. Together, you should shorten the burdens of marriage, each one according to your capabilities. You have both the right and obligation to take care of the upbringing and education of your children so that they may become useful and good citizens and free personalities. It's time to exchange the wedding rings. So, to Daniel, Samantha's ring first.
Oh shit, I nearly fucking dropped it. Do
You got it?
Way. Yeah.
Okay, Daniel, just place it on the finger, show it to a photographer, and repeat after me while you're placing the ring.
I look like Smeagol.
I give you this ring
I'll give
Okay,
you this.
no, wait.
Wait, do I have to wait here? Like, sorry. I'll give you this ring
as a sign of our marriage
as a sign of our
and
marriage
as a symbol of my love.
and a symbol of my love.
I promise to care for you,
I promise to care for you,
respect you,
respect you,
love
love
you, and cherish
you,
you.
and cherish you.
Wear it with pride and happiness,
Wear it with pride and happiness,
now and always.
now and always.
Thank you, Daniel. You can place the ring.
There you go.
And to the second one.
Wipe your finger.
I give you this
I
ring
give you this ring
as a sign of our marriage
as a sign of our marriage
and as a symbol of my love.
and as a symbol of my love.
I promise to care for you,
I promise to care for you,
respect you,
respect you,
love you and cherish you.
love you and cherish you.
Wear it with pride and happiness,
Wear it with pride and happiness,
now and always.
now and always.
Thank you so much for your
It's on! It's on!
Someone got on my finger.
Is it on?
Yes,
It's on,
it's on,
good.
yeah, now it is now, yeah.
Sure. And as from this moment, I pronounce you husband and wife.
Oh, so sweaty. Honest to God, my hand's so swollen.
Don't take it off!
No, I'm not going to take it off. Where do I need to?
I like it first, sorry, darling.
Oh, okay, yeah, sorry. Can I put my... Matt. Fans. Got no fans. Like that, like that. No. Sorry.
Go for a kiss.
You're signing now, pretend to do well, and you're standing just above the
There, yeah, okay. Sorry. I'm halfway through my signature, now it looks like someone else done it.
Daniel, pretend to sign for a picture as well.
Pretend to sign. Yeah. Am I looking up or down? Happy.
Thank you. And now I would like to have your first witness here,
Uncle Mal. Uncle Mal.
You okay?
There you go, there's that 50 quid. My hand's so swollen, she couldn't get the ring on there. Look how swollen my hand is.
Okay, Dan, come nice and close. Just looking at me this time, guys. That's it.
Auntie Ree. Awesome. Thank you very much, my love. Cheers for that. Thank you. Cheers.
Right, everyone put a pose. Come on! Make some noise! Perfect, guys. Pull it! look at each other. Kiss, kiss. Cut the cake. Each other. Cheers each other. Cheers your friends and family. Hey! And down it. Not literally.
It's not that bad.
And who better to get us going than a man not only convinced Sammy that all the countries of the world were connected by chains to stop them floating about, which I think she still believes, but a man so fond of biscuits, he's got a personalised tin by his bed. True story. So without further ado, put your hands together for the father of the bride, Biscuit Tin Phil.
We are. This is on. Yeah. Right, I'll start again now. That's right. As a proud father of a beautiful bride, it is my duty, honour and privilege to start the ball rolling with the first speech. I will keep this short and to the point. I've had 27 years to prepare this. Obviously, I've just put it together in the last few weeks. So, firstly, on behalf of both families, I would like to thank you for all being here. I know it means a lot to Sammy and Dan for you to be here and to share their special day. It's certainly not been easy battling a pandemic, airline difficulties, but a year later and 1,983 miles later, we are finally here. So, please make sure you have a drink and make yourself comfortable during the speeches. When we're doing toast, just recognise we've got our table over here for people that couldn't be with us today. So the toast will be recognising that. I've been married for 33 years and during that time spent with a household of females and only a gimpy Labrador for male support. It's very unusual for me to get to speak for longer than 30 seconds without being interrupted or listened to. So this is going to be a complete new experience for me. It's a strange thing to give your daughter away. I know as a proud father I am biased, but I think you will agree that Sammy looks absolutely stunning and beautiful. And Dad's grabbed up pretty well too. Has to be said, doesn't it? Mum and I are so proud of you both, really are. I would like to say a personal thank you to all the bridesmaids and groom's party. You all look amazing and have been such a support to Sam and Dan. Thank you. I know they really appreciate your friendship. As parents, we all want the best for our daughters and I hope they will find their right partner, one that will make them happy, make them feel cherished and will look after them always. And I'm so pleased that Sammy found Dan. So, this is the part where I speak a little bit about Sammy. On December 29th, 1997, Sammy skidded into the world, apparently following my spirited drive to get Mum and Bump to the Pool Hospital. We were so over the moon to have a healthy little girl, but you may not know, up until that moment, she was going to be Matthew, as we were convinced she was a boy. Growing up, Sammy certainly was a tomboy, accident-prone and adventurous, with no fear or special awareness, which meant numerous visits to casualty, head slit open, running into open windows, breaking her arm, falling off the stall. And I think we had one in here about had flat to end the hall mirrors as well. So, many of you will have seen the video of Dan proposing when you all heard Dan encouraging her to move away from the cliff edge, which she very fortunately did, and we were relieved for that. She blossomed into a beautiful, strong, kind, caring, dependable, funny, sharp-witted young lady obviously the trade she gets from herself. Sammy progressed through college, establishing herself as a beautician and talented nail technician. About a year after meeting, Dan and they moved in together in the flat, and it was great to see them so happy to start and laugh together. It was difficult for Sammy leaving home as they were such a close family, but it was made easier with Dan's support and love from his family and the new circle of friends. It was also thanks to Elaine and Keith that Sammy settled in so well. They took her under their wing and were there when she needed them. Sammy is talented and hard-working. Sounds like a scoreboard, doesn't it? Something in here about must try harder, actually. With Dan's support and encouragement, she's soon built a successful business that's grown in confidence in every way. We are so proud to be her dad and call her my daughter. I'm sure Dan will now be equally proud to call her his wife. At this point, in addition to extol the virtues of the groom, I'm struggling to read Dan's writing, so I told him to take my time off. I first met Dan on our driveway as he crawled out from under an ancient citron saxo. He wiped his hands on his short, strode over to me, shook my hand and said, "Hi, I'm Dan," with covertly exclaiming that the exhaust was falling off his car. He was wearing a bobble hat, army boots and shorts. I now know that would be completely normal, but it was in the winter. And I'm thinking, who is this guy? What goes on in gospel? In 2018, we were all knocking down the garage one snowy January day, when Dan cut his hand and asked me for a plaster. Over the first aid box, told me that he had done it on purpose and he needed to speak to me privately and wanted to propose to Sammy who was asking my permission. Sammy apparently looked over at this point, saw us have a hug and thought, that's lovely. We really care for each other. It's a moment I'll never forget, and a moment Sue will never forgive me for, as it was kept a closely guarded secret for about 4 months of it. Sue is not used to not knowing what's going on. You'll hear a lot about Dan from his best man, I'm sure. His charitable nature, passion for justice, his work ethic and numerous talents. But it makes you sick, doesn't it? But all I will say is that Dan is a credit to his parents, and we are so proud to call him our son-in-law, and for him to be part of our family. I believe the father of the bride is supposed to offer some advice at this point. And don't worry. And apart from looking after each other, as you both seem to have a tendency to injure yourselves. Regularly. Just remember that marriage is ultimately teamwork and to always consider each other. And Dan, just say, yes dear. Always work on it. Before I finish, there are 2 very special family members that couldn't be with us today, but not wanted to miss out. They dressed for the occasion at home. They are Best Bob Dog Bobs and Dogavana Army. We'll come around and look at those in a minute. Right. I would like to propose the first toast to the happy couple, my daughter Sammy and new son-in-law Dan. Here's to a long and wonderful life together. I give you Mr. and Mrs. Turner.
Why was he born so beautiful? Born at all. He's no fucking used to. Where's your case? Casey McCase's face has lost his speech. What a shot. Okay, just talk amongst yourselves. Music, anyone?
The weather being fantastic.
And the weather lovely. Scratchy tits everywhere. Here it is. There she is. You're not next though, are you? Yeah. Oh, it's you?
I meant we should give it to Matt.
Oh. Okay. Well, what can I say about Casey McCase's face? What an absolute Bacardi breezer. A man of so many talents, but finding a mobile phone on a single sun lounger with a search party of 4 people is not one of them. It gives me such an honour to be able to introduce my bestie with testes. A wonderful friend, a handsome son, and now a fabulous husband. Ladies and gents, let's go wild for the groom, Dan! Send it, send it, send it, send it, send it.
Thank you, my love. Now, I know this off by heart, but Sammy just gave me a dead leg and said, you better go get it. Obviously, yes dear, yes dear. So, ladies and gentlemen, non-binary people attack helicopters and bedside tables because we are in 2022 and you can be whatever you want. My wife and I. Just like to say thank you to each and every one of you for coming along. I know it's been such a nose financially for everyone. The northern contingent have been delayed so much that they've probably got about 3 hours before they have to get a flight home. So thanks so much for everyone travelling here. Honestly, it's something I'll never ever forget.
Best 81 hours of my life, mate.
So thanks from the bottom of our hearts. So just toast to yourselves, guys, for getting out here, because I know it's expensive for everyone. You don't understand how much I appreciate it. Thank you. To Sammy's bridesmaids, I think I speak for everyone when I say how beautiful they all look. They've done such a good job in keeping her. I know how hard it is keeping her under wraps when she's stressed, so well done for that. I just want to say a couple of special mentions to Sammy's maid of honour, Hannah, and Sammy's mum, my mum as well, for doing her hairdo. The level of attention to detail and everything that went into that. Get into that. Stop interrupting me. Yeah? The level of attention to detail that went into that was ridiculously good, and I'm sure that everyone who saw the pictures was amazed by it. Another special thanks has to go to Paige. There you go. Right, for making Sammy's bride hat from a distance. If you look at that from a distance, you don't realise how much time and effort went into that. Each little sequin and pearl was stuck onto that with super glue individually, and I don't know how you didn't kill yourself doing that, because I would have been bored after 2 seconds. So let's have it to the bridesmaids. Lennon, aka Len Dog. Superstar flower girl. I think it's safe to say you knocked it out of the park, my love, and it's a real honour having you at work in Magic today. You just spilled Prosecco all over Tony. The same goes for all the kids. Honestly, having the kids, without the kids here, it would have been boring. I'm sure everyone would have been so bored. So thanks so much for bringing them. It really made the holiday, so thanks for having them. Doesn't matter.
Sorry, doesn't matter. Fuck it then.
So, unfortunately, due to the cruel nature of life, there's some people that sadly couldn't be with us this evening. And to remember them, we have a table place set up for them. This is an old military tradition where you set a table space up for people that aren't here. I just like to read out a few names that won't be here.
Oh, come on, you've got this.
Well done.
Our granddad Dale, our granddad Ken, my grandma Olive, Marty Rosie, Sammy's granny, Sammy's granddad Ted, Sammy's granddad Colin, both on Nanny Mary's, and Aidan, dear mate, you couldn't be here. We all miss you terribly. So for friends and family that can't be here, thousand friends and family. I want to also mention a few. Also a mention to those that are still with us but just couldn't make it, obviously because of the nature of where this is. And Sally's nana, who's unfortunately got really bad dementia and she's in the home and she couldn't make it over. Ozzy, my mate in Australia, stuck working in the Perth mines, digging out blind, he couldn't make it. Sam Porter, he moved up north with his wife and his 2 daughters, and he's recently just had to fork out 20 grand for new windows, so he couldn't make it. Scouts, my mate, who's in the process of leaving the Navy after 25 years, and he's absolutely brassic and just tied up with trying to do all that. JD and Sarah, my godkids. JD, unfortunately, who's been shafted by the army as per usual, and he couldn't make it today, so those that are missing out. getting to you, you idiot. To my mum and dad. Mum, thanks for being the greatest mum anyone could ever ask for. Thank you for your ongoing support throughout my whole life and putting up with me from my young years, teenage years and adult years, being a complete and utter little shit. Thank you for being there for Sammy when she needs you the most. You've become somebody's incredibly special person to her, and I know that she will forever be grateful for you taking her under her wing when she moved away from home.
Amazing woman, Elaine.
Thanks for supporting me through all my rough patches. The last couple of years have been up and down for me, to say the least, but you've never ever given up on me. It's because of you that I'm where I am now. How you didn't give me away when I was younger is completely beyond me. Everything you've done for me, Sammy and everyone is so appreciated and will never be forgotten. Despite the fact that we used to have spaghetti bolognese 4 times a week. And you always managed to shoe on in your obvious catchphrases such as, you have to drive carefully, and you've got to be careful with chicken. Well, the fact that you used to dress me and my brother, Matt, the same like a pair of little gimps, we all absolutely adore you. Hope you ever change. We love you so much. My dad. I could easily write a 12-part TV series on how much I love and respect you. And even then it would need a Christmas special. So I'm trying to keep it short and sweet. For those of you that don't know, there was a guy called Alan that donated his sperm to produce me and my brother. And up until the point when I was about 10, he was my hero. And then he just decided one day he was going to fuck me and my brother off and we weren't worth it anymore.
Best decision ever, mate.
And that didn't affect me when I was younger, but the last couple of years it really, really has, to the point where I had to go to therapy because of it. Luckily for us though, there came a knight in shining armour, but he didn't have shining armour, he had a shining bald head. Keith Stokes, my dad, my idol, my hero, he took on a common bird from Essex to 2 reprobate kids. With no consideration for his own personal well-being. He had no air support, no top cover. All in all, it was a suicide mission. But he took it on regardless. Dad, you've had an integral role in every success I've had in my life. You've been there for me through thick and thin. Taught me how to conduct myself, taught me how to drink, influenced me on joining the armed forces, and most importantly, made me strive to be the best person I could possibly be. I owe literally everything to you, and if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be here today. We wouldn't have everything that we have. We wouldn't be sat here with whilst before everyone shit us with his feet. I will always cherish the life advice you've given me, particularly the dressing down you gave me when I was 16 about riding my bike home, pissed from Jordan's, where you said it was incredibly dangerous and you were just really, really disappointed in me because I was going to really hurt myself. Only for you, the following week, to ride your bike home from a mess function, pissed out your head on cider, where you fell off and broke your collarbone. So thank you, Dad. Thank you so much. I love you more. I love you so much. It hurts my soul. So to my mum and dad, to Phil and Suze, thanks for giving me the gift that is your daughter. Thanks for always keeping me well fed and watered whenever I come to visit, and thanks so much for always digging out blinds to make the best life for both of us. Whether it's Phil working his carpentry magic and building gates for the dogs, or Sue secretly painting the outside toilet on her day off. Cleaning the house from top to bottom, and tidying and rearranging the cupboards. Even though I can't find anything I'm looking for about 2 straight days after, you're always on hand to make sure we're never always taken care of. Also, thank you so much for being #1 dog sitters for Barney and Arnie. You always seem to drop everything to look after them both when we're going away, and to do so without question, we wouldn't have been able to do the social events that we have without your help. And whilst we're on the subject of dogs, thank you so much for bringing Harley and Ruby into my life. I will always forever be in your debt for them both. So we love you so much. So to Phil and Sue, Chris and George, you've been like second parents to me since I was in infant school. And thank you so much for everything you've done and continue to do for me and Sammy. You are always there for me whenever I need you, and I always feel I have someone to turn to if I'm in need of help and in a rut. You've given me a massive extended family that I will always cherish as my own. And if it wasn't for the both of you, I wouldn't have had half the childhood memories that I have. And I will forever be grateful for you both for being there for me. For me and Sammy both love you millions. So to Chris and George. Tina and Darren, thanks for the most important establishment in my life, the pub. Thanks for being like third parents to us. Thanks for being so supportive of everything I do. Thanks for always putting me meat raffle tickets behind the bar and putting up with me when I'm completely spangled. You both worked so hard and were so proud for everything you've achieved with the pub, and you mean the world to us. You're both the best. We love you both. So Tina and Darren.
Yay!
Don't worry, we're nearly there. To my groomsmen and friends, lads, thank you for giving me the closest knit and most supportive group of mates I could ever ask for. And by supportive, I mean ripping the living piss out of each other at every opportunity and turning every positive step that someone makes into some sort of perverted agenda. Jordan, my best mate since infant school. He's over there, isn't he? Great dad to Megan, thanks for giving me childhood memories to last a lifetime, giving me the honour of being your best man last month for yours and Ellie's wedding, and always standing by me like a brother. Rich, one of the best dads I've ever met, also giving me the honour of being yours best man at yours and Kath's wedding, a legend in the Royal Marines and a man of strong morals despite a really progressively weak hairline. Louis Greasley, the blackest white person I've ever met. An amazing dad, an even better soldier, an airborne legend picking up Sergeant Major at 33 years old. Ash, another great father, thanks for giving me the honour of being one of your groomsmen at yours and Lauren's wedding. Another Armed Forces legend, smashing it as a boot neck, and now he's on the high seas as a Navy diver, and he got promoted last week. One of the snaggiest blokes I've ever met in my life. Leon, you're like a brother to me, mate, and you always will be, and you've been with me through thick and thin, and there's never ever a dull moment in your company. So thanks for being you. All over there. Matt, I'll move on to you in a minute, mate. All of you, you're always there when I need you, and I love you all. And in the cheap seats, not the groomsmen. Steve, sit down. Thanks for being you, mate. Another great father to Vinny and Betsy, and a lucky man to have Jake by your side. Even though it looks like you sat on a cream egg with that gopping mole on your leg. We all love you. I can't wait to see you stood where I am in August. And a special mention must go to my only army mate here, Clarky.
Yes, Clarky.
You went from being a lad who I took through training as your PTI to one of the best blokes I've ever met in my life. And one of my best mates. Playing Army Rugby League with you, running the ball in full tilt knowing that I had you on my shoulder, mate. And gallivanting up north and getting on the piss and having some of the wild escapades we've had, some of the best times of my life. So thank you very much, and I love you so much. So to my mates, to my wife, Sammy, I love you. I used to say I like my girlfriends like I like my Ferraris. I don't have any. So that all changed when I swiped right and I met you. We spoke for a good year online before I even met in person. And even then I embarrassed myself. I turned up to your mum and dad's house in a beat up saxo with my exhaust falling off. And your mum and dad must have been mortified at your life choices, but I like to imagine that's all changed by now. You always keep me grounded, and you support me no matter what, and you give me the freedom to do what I want pretty much when I want. You have been my rock through the worst times of my life and my #1 cheerleader through the best times. We go together like peas and carrots, or dynamite and chips. And I know that you are the clumsiest person I know, panic about literally everything, no matter how mediocre it is, and ask ridiculous questions like, Dan, are you circumcised? Even though we've been together 3 years. You make me laugh so much, and it's a blessing to wake up to you every day. You're the best dog hunter Barney and Arnie, and seeing you flourish and really come into your own since moving away from the New Forest is something I will always admire you for. They say that if you do something you love, if you work doing something you love, you'll never ever work a day in your life. And the fact that we've made that a reality for both of us is by working together is something I will forever be proud of us for. I love you so much and always will. So here's to me and you in our future, to Sammy Turner. So my brother, my heart, my soul. I'll always be grateful for the relationship that we have, Matt, and I'll always pride myself on how close we are, and how nothing can break the bond that we have. It also makes me so proud that we're the envy of people who don't have a relationship with their siblings. I'll never ever forget a conversation I had with James Adams when he said, I love how close you and your brother are. You see each other every weekend, and the fact that you live together is mental. You're like best mates. I wish me and my brother were like that. My brother punched me in the face when I was sleeping once because I was snoring too loud. We're thick as thieves, and I'm so proud of everything you have achieved. You're like Gosport's answer to Jordan Belfort, and I absolutely love you for it. You make me so proud every day, and I'm so honoured to be your big brother. So, to my best man. So as this is a joyous time for new beginnings, I'd like to finish by addressing my parents and getting something off my chest. That time that we was in Egypt, and I cut my foot open on the, I cut my foot open and I ruined the holiday for us because I needed 12 stitches. I didn't cut it open when we was in the lazy river on one of the rocks. I did a backflip off one of the bridges impressing a bunch of girls. And I overspan it and landed on one of the outlet pipes. Matt knew about this as well, and he's kept that a secret as well. So it feels really, really good to get that off my chest and out in the open. So I'm just going to take this time now, just hand over to my best man.
Okay, well, I don't think we need an introduction for the next guy, but because he single-handedly tried to drink the all-inclusive dry on the first day, which of course was Leon's fault. But did you know he's an avid footballer who once broke his tib and fib? And my favourite bit of all is that he convinced the majority of Canada he was the front man from the band of the Lumineers, which led to more all-inclusive access. Lads and lasses, please put your hands together for the best man, Matt! Send it, send it, send it, send it.
Send it.
Right, I'm going to be a bit awkward now. I'm going this side. If you can't see a TV, I recommend you do. Okay, I'd like to start by congratulating Dan on his excellent taste in best men, with a whole host of great men. It says in this room, I didn't know we'd be outside. Outside today, it's a real honour to be stood next to you today, mate. Earlier on this week by the pool, there was a sweepstake for how long everyone thought this best man speech was going to be. I've stuck a tenner on an hour and 15 minutes, so let's get comfortable. I think we're all in agreement when I say how beautiful Sammy looks today. Honestly, I didn't think you had it in you, so fair play. And not forgetting all the lovely bridesmaids, I'll echo that again. You've all done such a wonderful job, and you should be really proud of yourselves. When I started writing this speech, I had many moments laughing to myself about all the memories that me and Dan have shared together, and also all the stupid things we've done over the years. Going back to the beginning, Dan's first memories of me being born are me giving him a lion teddy in the hospital. Oh, bless him. But this act of kindness was shortly outweighed by mischief when my mum caught him surfing on me in the bathroom while she was waiting to give me a bath. This was just one of the first of many shenanigans Dan would decide to play out in his life. The one that will always stick into my mind first is when we were staying at my nan's and Dan and James decided it'd be a great idea to go fishing in her pond. Armed with sticks, fishing lines and worms on hooks, they proceeded to fish for the big guy, Oscar. Lo and behold, Oscar fancied a tasty worm and grabbed one on the end of Dan's makeshift fishing rod. Dan's not always been muscles and tattoos, and Oscar's strength was too much for spaghetti arms to handle, and he pulled him into the pond. All of the adults were in the kitchen, and they wouldn't listen to James when they was trying to get their attention before Dan ended up in Davy Jones's locker. They eventually fished him out, and Nan put a ban on fishing and a net across the pond. My Nan's old house was great. She had a huge garden, a massive house to play hide and seek. The games never lasted long, though, as for some reason, the only other place we used to hide was, Emma? The washing basket. No matter how many times we played or when we went up, everyone would always be in the washing basket. Another time at Nam's I remember is when me, Dan and Uncle Graham were playing Who Wants to Be a Millionaire on the PlayStation. Believe it or not, my uncle's a bit of a knowledge bomb when it comes to quizzes, and we got to the £1 million question. But Graham's knowledge come to a grinding halt. But lucky for us, we hadn't used our phone a friend. Quick thinking, he decided to call the only person that could save us, Nan. He rang her up, and when she answered, he explained that we're on the £1 million question, and she had 30 seconds to help. We read the question, Nan gave us the answer, bringing the money home for the Turners. And to this day, I don't think my uncle's grown up. Speaking of childish uncles, JC. When we were younger, me and Dan used to always go up to Essex, and he always used to know that we'd bring our PlayStation with us. JC loved it that much that one time when we come to visit, he came round to Nan's to grab us for a sleepover. He made sure we had all our stuff, including the PlayStation, and when we got to his house, we realised he invited all of his mates round for a FIFA tournament, and then filled me and Dan with fizz bombs and let us stay up all night and play with them. As you get older, and before there are girls, booze and fags, every child has their obsessions, and Dan had a real thing for roller coasters. Sorry, I'm going to laugh because I know what's coming up next. Now, this may seem hard to believe, but don't worry, I've got a video. Brace yourselves. Can we have some quiet just while we have the video? Look at Dan. Okay. There are so many funny memories on this holiday, and to this day we sit down as a family and we watch them back crying with laughter and everything that went wrong. The one I will mention is when me and Dan were sat in the back of the minivan on a long drive to the next motel. We had nothing to entertain ourselves with other than M&M's pots that we'd just eaten. So what are two lads to do other than fart in the pots and see who smelt the worst? We were both always up to no good as kids, whether it was playing knock door run, field gun over the garden wall, or hitting stones with golf clubs into Mum's patio. She soon banned golf in the garden for obvious reasons, so we went over to Brooker's Field to practice our swings. Obviously, golf was banned there too, and the council man came over to tell us off and kick us off the field. As he got closer, we decided it would be a great idea to start teeing off at the geezer's van so that he didn't get a chance before legging it into the woods and hiding. We couldn't be trusted anywhere that we went together, and one of the worst for my mum to deal with was when she took us to the opticians. To most normal families, this is a simple task to do with their kids. But with me and Spacky Eyes, we would always find a way to make it uncomfortable and embarrassing for my mum. So Dan, better with or without? Another memory that sticks with me is when we went to Butlins for Christmas. And the night before, we had a birthday party to go to, George's. Things got heated outside and there's a massive tear-up, in which me and Dan both took a whack or two each. I'll never forget us both getting out of the car at Butlins and my mum having to explain to the rest of the family why we both had black eyes. The older we got, the closer we became. Not only socialising together, but eventually buying our first home together. And after a few years in the flat, we had nicknames for all of our neighbours. There was Barbecue Vape Man, Hardstyle Layla, Loud Lisa, and not forgetting Mercedes Dickhead over the road. Living with each other was great, although it did cause a few domestics over the years. One was when I questioned him on his shower routine, and why on earth it looked like we had a flood every time that he got out the shower. His answer to this was that the bath mat I'd bought was not big enough, and that he had, I quote, too much coverage for an ordinary bath mat. However, this was nothing to the time that he tried to make me eat hot festering sausages from a barbecue the day before. I really wish I'd got the video, but we can't find it anywhere on Facebook. But to give you all an idea, we'd had a barbecue, all the leftover food was on our kitchen floor, and the sunlight was on them to the point that there was meat juice on my kitchen floor, and Dan wanted me to make them for lunch.
I don't want the fucking sausages.
Yeah, I don't want the fucking sausages. I still get the blame for that. Another fond memory I've spent with Dan is back in 2015, when I did, unfortunately, break my leg, tib and fib. Good, clean break. I remember the day clearly, and after it happened, the lads were asking me who they should call. Not to give my mum a heart attack, I told them to call Dan, and he came to the field straight away with Aussie. Dan's never been the sensitive type with me, and he would always just take the piss and have a selfie with me on the floor. Looking back, it was probably what I needed, and it took my mind off the pain. The jokes didn't stop there, though, and when we got to the hospital, Lenny decided to join the party and came and stayed with me and Dan. The nurse plugged me into the gas and air and handed it to me, and she said, "I'll be back in 5 minutes." Well, Dan and Len's ears just perked right up. We played 2 take pass on that gas and air while giggling our heads off. When the nurse came back, she saw how much that we had left, and she went, "Oh, Matthew, you must be in pain. Let me get you some more." This made us laugh even more. Lenny was so off his head that when his phone rang, he dropped his phone and answered the shin pad. Dan's always been into his sports, especially rugby. I remember I used to go over and watch him at Gosport quite often, but one game just stands out from the rest. It was a sunny day in Gosport on a packed out field of supporters, and the ball's kicked high in the air. Dan shouts, "Turner's ball!" and is running back to catch it. He couldn't have been further away from the fucking thing if he tried. And it went straight over his head. Lenny's on the sideline and shouts, "Keep your eye on the ball." And his response was, "I've got my eye on the fucking ball." It was priceless. We've been on numerous stag do's together, and for obvious reasons, I won't divulge into too many of the stories. The best one I think I can tell is when we went to Barcelona for Rich's stag. We had an epic 4 days, and on our last night, we were lucky enough to bump into a 30-strong hen do from Essex. Dan wasn't feeling too great after the events of the stag and ended up going back to our hotel early to get his head down. Me and a few others stayed out, and I took a liking to one of the girls on the hen party, and obviously she fell head over heels for me. Her eyes weren't painted on. I took her back to the hotel, and on the way I remembered I was sharing a room with Dan, and he was in there asleep. I couldn't bail out now because I was on a promise, so I went back anyway. Things were getting fruity, and before long I was head down and gunning for it. I don't know why, but I had a feeling that I was being watched. I looked over to Dan's bed, and he was laying there smiling at me like this. But like a true professional, I got the job done. Moving on to when I was introduced to Sammy. I'd been out the night before, and Dano brought her around the flat pretty early in the morning. So I got up hungover and walked into the living room wrapped in my duvet to say hello. As I introduced myself, she immediately looked away, and I thought to myself, "That's quite rude, isn't it? She's in my flat and she won't even say hello." After a while, she took her hands away from her eyes and said, "Matt, your dick's hanging out your boxers." A great first memory for her, I'm sure. The same weekend, Dan had said to me that they wanted a night to themselves, and would I mind going out for the night to give them some time alone. Of course, I said, "I'll pop down to Carrie and I'll have a few swift ones with Darren." I didn't know how long they wanted me to be alone for, and after a heavy one the night before, I decided to call it a night and head home. I got back, walked into the living room, where I found Dan and Sammy both covered in baby oil, sliding all over the place. I've never panicked so much in my life, but I didn't leave before I give them a little smile and a thumbs up. Revenge is sweet. Over the years, Dan has grown into a proper gentleman and is pretty much now Gosport's answer to Michael Bublé. I'm so proud of the man that you've become, and you're honestly the best brother. Oh, fuck.
Oh, mate.
You're the best brother a bloke could ask for, and I know you're going to be an even better uncle to my baby on this boy. I wish you and Sammy all the happiness in the world, because you both deserve it so much. I hope I've done you proud today being your best man, and I want to say again how much of an honour it's been for me. I've always looked up to you, and I'll never forget all the things you've done for me. I love you, mate, more than anything. I've done my best to put into words today some of the happiest memories that we've shared together over the years, but sometimes words don't do it justice. So I've made you a little video which compromises all of our happy memories, and I hope they sum it up a little bit better.
Yes! Yes! Class.
Oh, Bobs!
Fucking hell. Hey. Okay.
Oh my god! Oh, Sam.
Hey, go on, George.
Oh! Oh!
Class.
Amazing.
Okay, before I do finish, I'm literally just going to wrap up with this one. Sammy, I've got one last message for you, my love.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? 370 days we've been waiting for this, but it's now the time for the first dance. This will be an everlasting love. This will be the one I've waited for. This will be the first time anyone has loved me. Oh, I'm so glad
Second choice. I'm sorry, too easy. So happy as a son. I